Thank you. We have come together as leaders from the Ma community to respond to our colleagues from Baringo County who recently made unfortunate attacks to a civil servant. And we have a statement that I will read. It is important for the country to know that exists a forest known as Mukutani forest. This forest that occupies an area of 13,195.8 hectares was formally and legally gazetted on 27th October 2017 via legal notice number 265 of 2017 by the then Cabinet for Environment and Natural Resources Ambassador Judy Wakungu, following wide-ranging and consultation and public participation involving members of the El Chamus community who are the bona fide owners of the said land. It should be noted that the El Chamus community donated the land for gazettement for two reasons. One, to help the conservation of the forest, which is a unique dryland ecosystem with wide-ranging biodiversity that was fast disappearing thanks to constant invasion by livestock from the surrounding communities. It should be understood that the El Chamus do not have much cattle thanks to the raids by the bandits. Second, the elders from El Chamus communities also hope that the gazettement of the forest will apply not only forestall its grabbing, but also act as a buffer zone between the community and the bandits. It is also hoped with the government presence in the area, the forest will stop being a hiding place for bandits and their stolen livestock. This strategy has actually worked wonders to the chagrin of the would-be raiders, who we believe are using innocent school-going children as a ruse to restart the vice which has been contained by the government of His Excellency the President, Honorable William Ruto. It should be noted that Mukutani Forest is the reason for the prevailing peace in Baringo South today. Some members of the El Chamus have been able to move back to their former homes because of the existing of Mukutani Forest. It should also be noted that the forest is one of the biggest development contributors to the new sub-county and the entire Baringo South. It should be further be noted that the so-called Lorumoru School was recently put up illegally inside a gazetted forest, not for education purposes, but solely as a ruse to push for disgazettement of the forest and to further dispose El Chamus of their remaining land. In the light of the foregone, it's highly regrettable to the members of parliament from Baringo County attacking a civil servant, Alex Lemarkoko, who was merely executing his duties as per the law. As the Ma MPs, we want to call upon the leaders from Baringo to desist from personalizing, trivializing, politicizing issues of great national importance, which is conservation. Thank you.
So important to note that as much as we appreciate the President, His Excellency President William Ruto, for recognizing one of the most marginalized and people who are suffered in this country and gave them a sub-county, and also in history for him recognizing marginalized people, we would wish to request our colleagues that El Chamus is part of the Maasai community, which are a minority in this country, and therefore should not be harassed because they don't have representation or nobody is representing them in any form or the other. So people should not take advantage of trying to harass marginalized people that have been marginalized for decades in this country. It's time that we unite as the President calls, and everybody has a right in every county that they are. And therefore, we just ask our people or the leaders that they should respect also people who live with them and coexist together. Thank you.
I want to particularly answer what the woman representative, my colleague, Jamatia Florence, talked about Lemarkoko. Using unprintable words against a civil servant is not only against the law, but going against the rules and laws and regulations that have been put in place, which protects the offices that they hold. Alex Lemarkoko is a civil servant like any other civil servant. And calling him words like unprintable words like mjinga is actually hitting him beyond the belt. Something that Lemarkoko cannot protect himself, he cannot defend himself. And we feel as Maa leaders that this is going beyond his rights, because Lemarkoko is merely working and protecting the laws that we have put as parliament. And I want to tell Jamatia that Lemarkoko is rightfully holding that office. He is qualified, and he did an interview. And we thank His Excellency the President for appointing him and giving him the opportunity, even as a marginalized person. And therefore, we want to ask Florence Jamatia to desist from abusing Lemarkoko, even as she protects her own political rights. Because, you know, if, as we advance our politics, let us not bring civil servants into our political agenda. This is politics, and as Maa leaders, we are saying we are against this, and we are not going to allow that to continue. Thank you.
Is the CEO of Forestry, and we must separate issues here. These were utterances by politicians. It is a political game that is being played. The gazettement of Mukutani Forest was done in 2017. And as per the Constitution of 2010 that requires public participation, due process was followed. So the executive has no business getting into politics. And that is why we are responding as politicians to our colleagues, because it's a political issue. And it should be noted that we see that it is just not the people they want to settle in Mukutani. They are leaders who are planning to grab part of this land. That is actually the intention.
Yes.
And we must tell our colleagues and tell our countrymen, this spirit of not wanting to see any vacant land is really unfortunate. Conservation is for all of us. You know, when Mau Forest was being conserved, there is a school that was illegally constructed in Mau Forest that was destroyed, demolished, and we did not complain as leaders. As much as it was our children who are there, we did not complain because we see the bigger picture of conservation. Yeah, that it is not just for the Maa people in that region, but it is for the entire country. Yeah, so this is not an issue of coming to defend Alex Lemarkoko, but it is an issue of responding to politicians who have ill motives of grabbing this land, which is a heritage that we must all enjoy as Kenyans.
The acreage of the forest?
13,195.8 is the acreage. And it should also be noted that there was a petition brought to the House, petition number 15 of 2023 by Jamatia, and she should have waited for that petition to go through the entire process. The executive has responded to that petition, and it is before the Environment Committee in Parliament. So whatever Jamatia and her colleagues in Baringo County were doing is actually just playing politics. Where were they when public participation was being done? Which Baringo County is on record having participated, and they are part of the leadership of Baringo County. There are people who they represent were also involved in the public petition. Where were they all this time when due process was followed to gazette this place as a forest? So we are reading malice in all this. We are reading other motives behind this. And the issue we are saying, if these leaders from Baringo want to play politics, leave alone civil servants who are just following the law, the laws that we pass in the House. Leave that alone. Play your politics without involving civil servants. Thank you.
His bosses have not cited any incompetence because there are rules and procedures which are laid in the human resource manual, which are followed when somebody is not working. So nobody has raised an issue of incompetence with Lemarkoko. And that's why we are reading malice, we are reading politics, we are reading marginalization, because Lemarkoko comes from the marginalized community. And therefore, when our whole team from Baringo County, elected members of parliament, come and talk against one civil servant, especially a civil servant from the marginalized communities, we feel that this is further marginalizing the marginalized, and we are going to allow that. It is all of them. All of them, but the reason why I have picked Jamatia particularly is because of the unprintable words she used against a civil servant. Because calling somebody mjinga, that is not in order at all. That's not in order.